There you go. Go ahead.
Awesome. So, Mr. Bruce Buffer, it's so nice to see you.
Hi,
And
Tracy. How are
and so, Bruce, as you know, I am a successful property investor in Australia. And so, what I've actually done, a bit of context, is that I've created my own buyers agency where, when I finished high school, I was a professional singer, and like that's something that I've wanted to do my whole life, but I didn't want to live paycheck to paycheck. So instead, I use property to create my own wealth. And as you know, the entertainment industry is very volatile, and nothing is ever a guarantee. So when it comes to income, like it's always really good to start to get into different types of investments. So I guess my question to you is, well, what forms of investing have you done to preserve your income from the entertainment industry?
Well, first off, thank you very much, and pleasure to be on your interview, your podcast, whatever we're doing. Very cool. Big cheers to Down Under. Investing wise, I stay away from get rich quick schemes. I got involved in those when I was younger. 9 times out of 10, if not 9.9 times out of 10, you're going to lose your money, right? So we all want to get rich and everything else as we grow. But remember, when you're young, you have a lot of years ahead of you. If you
Yeah.
put away $27 a day, you're going to have $10,000 at the end of the year, right? So just think about that common little fact. Obviously, real estate is probably, the prime best investment there is known. If you buy properly and you hold on to that real estate for a period of 5 years, you're always going to do well, along with the tax, benefits and everything else that goes with it. But as long as you buy the right property. So I find that, and conservative investing, um, good growth stocks, which pay dividends, and diversify yourself, so your eggs are not all in one basket, right?
Mm.
And life is, I think life is key. Life is all about cash flow. So definitely you want to have at least 6 to 12 months of living expenses in the bank in case an emergency hits, a couple years preferably. But, it's all about just keeping everything on a conservative basis, especially when you're young like you and you have your whole life ahead of you, you know? And I'm sure
Mm.
you know that from real estate, how well you've done in real estate.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now,
Awesome. Awesome.
I also collect collectibles, but I have a very many years of knowledge and training through my dad, who was a huge collector. I collect sports memorabilia, movie memorabilia, and antique weapons, antique artifacts, and guns and artifacts. But you have to buy correctly and know what you're doing to do that.
Mm.
And that is a huge area of investment return, right?
Mm.
Not modern day sports cards, but going back to vintage and such. But you have to know what you're doing. So you can monetize your passions for in your life and find a passion that might work for you to invest in, which for me was collecting. But that's what worked for me. So in answer to your question
Yeah.
directly, conservative investments, a little diversification, stocks, the whole bit, but real estate is key. Buy,
Awesome.
buy your
Awesome.
buy your own home first. Get your own piece of land first.
All right. So, I guess roughly at what age, like, did you start your investment journey? Alongside like your own career, like as like a UFC idol. That's how I see you right now.
Appreciate that very much. I was again getting involved in collectibles in my teens, and those
Mm.
those items I bought from my teen days have gone up 50, 100 times what I paid for them, and I could sell them
Yeah.
very easily. Uh, Stocks, always had money in stocks, collecting conservatively, but I bought my first piece of real estate when I was 19 years old,
Oh wow. Awesome.
and that
Okay. Great.
paid off. I wish one thing about real estate, don't sell it unless you need the money, right? I wish I held on to the few pieces of real estate I let go, and it'd be incredible.
Yeah, that's what I hear from a lot of my clients is that I should have kept it. I should have kept it. Should have never sold.
True.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Very true.
So, do you only have property in the US right now, or any other countries?
No, just in the U.S.
Oh, okay. Well, like you have to buy, a couple of properties from where I'm from because the market here is absolutely crazy right now. It's absolutely nuts. So maybe you should, come to Sydney, and then we can have a chat about property, and then I can help you. So it's
Well,
absolutely nuts.
I have no doubt that you would be great to consult with, and I'm sure your people that are watching this, I would recommend that they do consult with you because I know where a lot of your training comes from. uh,
Mm.
gentleman, JT Fox, that we both know. So I have no doubt in your abilities. Right now, I'm going to be 67 next week.
Oh wow.
So, versus being 27 and having 40 years ahead of me to let things grow, I'm pretty much
Mm.
vested in all the real estate that I want to be vested in right now.
Mm.
So my investments are going to go into the next real estate piece I get would be a beach house. That's what I'm going to look to get eventually,
Nice.
but it'll be here in the States.
Yeah, nice, nice.
Too far to go
Um,
down there. I love traveling to Australia. It's just too far.
I know. It's so far from absolutely everything, but it is a beautiful country. It's just, minimum 16-hour flight sometimes.
Minimum.
um, yeah, minimum. So look, like you have been a successful icon in your industry for years and years and years. So like, how do you ensure that you stay hungry?
Well, I look at every show that I do when I go out on a Saturday night or whatever night I'm performing, and notice I said perform. I'm just not an announcer, I'm a performer. I like to entertain, and that's why I do it the way I do it. But I believe that every night that I walk out is my first night. I need to prove to myself, the powers that be, and the people that are watching, that I deserve this position that I have. So I just did a show in St. Louis, Missouri, here in the States on Saturday. Thought I did to me, I gave myself a good mark for doing a great job that night, and proved it then, but that was the past. Now I'm going to come out next Saturday in Las Vegas. I'll prove it again. So I basically stay hungry and keep my passion for it. The moment my passion wanes or disappears, then I have to ask myself, do I really need to keep doing this? It might be time for me to retire. But I'm very lucky to have the position I have and love the sport that I'm in, and have the unique position that I have. And you can see I'm having fun. I'm enjoying it.
Mm.
So I like to whistle while I work. And if you can find what you're passionate about, monetize your passion, then you're not just going to work, you're living a lifestyle. And that's really important.
Yeah. Yeah, awesome. So like obviously, for a lot of the listeners of this, they are people who are trying to get into property, or like who are trying to use property as like a tool in order to create wealth as well as financial freedom. But obviously, especially, for a lot of Aussies right now, it is very hard for them to essentially get their foot into the property market because it is so crazy right now. So like I guess to generalize the question a lot more, what is your advice for anyone looking to start out in a new industry, and then like how can we dominate it?
Well, first off, hopefully you're in an industry that you're passionate about. So when you do hit the canvas and go through the rough times, you get up and move forward and punch harder than ever, as Rocky says. When you're getting into something new, analyze three of the top people or companies in that industry that are the most successful. And I'm not telling you to copy them, but look at what they do and juxtapose it into your own distinct style, right? And go forward and follow success principles of what they've done to get where they got, right? And be consistent, be constant, consistent, believe in yourself, but have full knowledge of what you're doing, and be a product of your products. It's great if you can be in a situation where you truly believe in your product or what you're representing, because then you're true to yourself and you're a product of the products, not just in it to make a buck, right?
Mm.
That will help you. And that gets back to that passionate feeling that I think is important.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with you. Now, obviously, not just in the property industry, but as well as the entertainment industry, because I am part of both. Like, there is a lot of professionals who always have, something to say, and like everyone's got, a different type of strategy. So like how would you recommend on, well, like who is the best person to, actually get some sort of advice from, and like how can we block out the noise, especially when like a lot of people within those industries are like saying something different constantly.
Well, it's an interesting question. They're saying something different constantly, but I mean, it's always good to have a mentor, right? In your case, real estate, I would assume JT Fox has been a huge help to you,
Yeah.
right? So that's an example of works for you. So find somebody that you're enamored of, has a tremendously successful background, that you believe in what they do, and do what you did. See if you can be mentored by them. See if you can read on them, if they have a book, if they have this, just to follow their success principles, right? So kind of like, I guess, having a business role model. shall we
Yeah.
say. So if you can find somebody, and I can't tell you who to get, depending on your industry, you've got to choose that yourself,
Mm.
right? But if you can find a role model, somebody to follow, if there's any way you can consult with them, to have them mentor you as you have, then I would say go for it. If you can make that happen, that'd be great.
Mm. Yeah. Okay.
Now, I
Okay.
don't know if I
Um,
answered your question correctly, but I hope I did.
look, like any answer that you say is always a great one, so I'm not concerned.
Okay.
Now I want to shift focus slightly to the entertainment industry because obviously, that is a big part of my own backstory, and plus, like the entertainment industry is just in pretty much a planet of its own. So
Yes.
so I guess like when you first kind of step foot into the entertainment industry, like what was your own experiences and challenges, and like how did you overcome them?
Well, I've been in the entertainment industry for 30 years, and before I ever got in and did my own announcing, I was managing my brother, the legendary Michael Buffer, known for his phrase, "Let's get ready to rumble" worldwide. And I I cut my teeth a lot in that, and the fact that I was dealing with people, dealing with sports and entertainment professionals and agents and promoters and everything, so that I went through the trial and error of building his career and learning what I learned then. So then when it came time for my career, when I became an announcer and I started expanding my brand and coming out with the different products I have and such as that, I built it on all the knowledge I gathered in building his career and applied the same principles to mine. The wheel doesn't have to be reinvented. Keep it
Mm,
simple. The theories of business are very simple. Follow
mm,
the simple theories. Don't try to reinvent and become super, super complicated, right? Because if success formula is there and success works, then follow the patterns of success. But again, you gotta learn. You gotta shake hands. You gotta take names. You gotta meet people. You gotta go through experiences. You gotta have failures and successes to understand exactly where you're at, to be able to mold and fulfill your own dreams of your own brand and your own business that you're building.
mm,
And
mm,
I've expanded into different things. Like for instance, I have a side business where I do a tremendous amount of videos and audios, whether it's weddings or birthdays or championship introductions or for businesses to be put on social media. This has become a huge business for me. And, people write me through my website, brucebuffer.com, to get, again, whether it's a birthday wish or birth of a baby or their wedding's done or whatever. And I started like this, and then it blew up. And the trick is, the hardest part is not the working when you get up there. The hardest part is when you reach a success position is maintaining it.
yeah.
So always stick to your principles. Always stick to never forget what got you there and practice those same principles all the time.
Mm. Yeah, I love that. I love that. Now, I'm probably going to ask a bit more challenging question now. So, like, obviously, regardless whether it's a property industry or the entertainment industry, at the end of the day, like the power of networking is obviously, really, really crucial. And within those industries, it can be tough because, as you said earlier, it's like you need to be true to yourself and like, really understand like who you are. But then, particularly in those two particular industries, it's definitely on like your relationships with certain people. And so I find personally that like it's a gray line to stay true and honest to like who you are, but then also it's like a mix of, sometimes it's like you have to kind of kiss up to people even though like you don't want to. So I guess like how do you find the balance, between, trying to build a relationship with someone who would be great in terms of your career, but it may not necessarily be someone that like you're fond of, or like how do you actually balance that? Because I think that's a challenge for many people right now.
Well, one thing I do is that if in business I'm lied to, I won't do business with them. Now, if they're not your favorite personality, not somebody you want to break bread with and go out and, you know, socialize with and such as that, you're not in business to make friends, although you will make friends. You want to be polite and congenial to everybody. But
Mm,
at the same time, you want to recognize who you're in there just to do business with. Get in there, do business, fulfill your uh, requests of them and their requests of you in your success formula and your process you're going through. Um, as long as they're not rude, mistreating you, or lying to you, you just do business with everybody, right? There's some people you like better than others. You will find friends in business that you do create friendships out of. But you can't be, you can't be friends with everybody, right?
Yeah.
You're in it to do business. And unless you're being mistreated or disrespected, you can continue to do business with them. But always recognize who you're doing business with. Know your source, what to expect. Don't expect something out of somebody who's not going to give it to you. They're not, tigers don't change their stripes. They're not going to change, right? So if you know that they handle business a certain way, you need to work with them to get to that point for them to help you achieve what you need to achieve. Then try not to overthink it. Try not to question the outcome. Just look at it and be very conservatively realistic with yourself of what to expect. I hope that helps.
Yeah, yeah, love it, love it. And then I think my final question.
Yeah, you got to wrap it up, Arena.
Okay, yeah. And so I think my final question, I'll keep it short, sweet, and probably cheesy, but what would you, I guess, what is your key factor when it comes to the success that you've grown for yourself, which you think will also help others?
Be true to myself, believe in myself, passion, just be passionate about what you're doing. If you can maintain passion for what you're doing, then enjoy it. Enjoy the process. Not every day is going to be perfect, but again, and just enjoy what you do. You have a goal, you're on a mission, right? You want to achieve that mission. And if your passion wanes and it's not working for you, or it's not bringing you the return you want at a certain point in your goals that you set, then maybe it's time to say, okay, it's time to pick up my chips and find another game. Maybe it's time to leave, right? So like the poker saying goes from the movie The Gambler, you got to know when to hold them and know when to fold them. And hopefully you'll be holding him and again, set your goals, be conservative, realistic goals and go for it. But enjoy your work. Enjoy your work.
Love it, love it. Thank you so much for that, Bruce. Thank you so much for your time.
All right, Rena, thank you so much. Take care. Big cheers to you. I'll see everybody in Perth when I come down for the UFC later this year.